Well, I'm loaded with actually research requests, but keep them coming in, even though I'm a little, it takes me a little longer, sometimes 2 weeks to finish them all. But you know, be patient with me, and I do them on, you know, starting a business, starting a nonprofit, or buying a house, or investing in real estate, and actually, and the best one I have is really 299 ways to get extra money on everything. And this is really financial assistance programs for where you live in any country, in any city. And I have a sale on that, and it's, I think it's Help Now too. Why do I forget it? Yeah. Hold on. Yeah, Help Now. So I got 25% off on if you use Help Now at checkout and you order the $2.99 ways to get extra money to do anything. Posted a sale. Hi, Robert, you're back. Wonderful. Well, today what I want to do is stuff in the news. I still read newspapers only because I can clip out the ads better. Yeah, and then report on this stuff with you guys. So I'm still an old-time guy. Newspapers. I don't get the weekend. I just get so expensive to subscribe. I still forget to. Looks like you got some sun. It does, doesn't it? But I guess I did. My son's wedding last week. That I went out. We were 5 days outside, and I go running every morning too in the sun. So I still do 4 or 5 miles a day. Run most of them, maybe 3 or 4, and I'll walk the rest. Or whatever. But I think I lost some people because I had that phone call and people on YouTube. So come on back. I'm still here. I want to show you. Aren't you the guy from TV? Yes, I guess. I did a lot of TV commercials and infomercials and stuff like that. They're very popular back in the 90s. I'm still doing the same kind of work, but it's really aimed at, you know, stuff online. You know, I don't sell reference books anymore, so that's over. I don't do that. But I still sell the information or give it away for free on things like that, trying to educate people about what's out there because our life is changing so much. And the old ways we think about making money, man, they just don't work anymore. I mean, everything you probably learned about how to make money and everything, that's old stuff. You know, can you give me a shout out? My childhood dream will be completed. Hey, who are you? Can I get your name again? I forget. I didn't see it there. Oh, so, give me your name so I can say your name. Did you know Don LaPree? I think he's in jail. Keegan. Oh, Keegan, you're the one who wants to shout out. Hi, Keegan. Happy to shout out for Keegan. I just saved money. Good, good, good. Tim Fleming, educate. Bill, good, Tim. There's lots of ways, and it's new ways. I mean, and actually they're good and bad. I mean, the bad part is the stuff you learned doesn't work anymore. Like me, I learned how to sell books, you know, in bookstores, and that didn't work anymore. So we all have to go out and learn something new. Nothing is really working, and that's why I think it's interesting to cover, follow the news. What's going on in the papers really tell you what's going on in the news. Really tells you about where it's going, and that's what you have to know. There is no new way. Yes, there is new ways, just called something new. It's true. It's probably just some old stuff that redone. There's nothing really new, but you have to be in the right places. You know, that's it. Life is just working like hell and hoping you get lucky. But if you're working like hell on something you like, then it's not work. You know, and that's the interest rate. Interest rates are gone. Oh, we got a lot of armchair economists like me here. You're a working man, Theo. Great. Yes, I am. Every day of my life. I just can't think of anything better to do or more fun to do. Actually, like one of the things I think that's happening in our country is marijuana. I mean, you've seen that, right? I mean, I didn't think marijuana in my lifetime would be legal, right? But it is now. So it's legal now. There's a report in the Washington Post. This is this morning about what's going on because Canada is now trying to make it legal all over Canada. Yeah. So there's a young hip prime minister up there. I just work on my stuff in bed. And he's trying to make it, he has introduced legislation to fully legalize marijuana starting in July of next year. Okay, the United States now has 8 states and the District of Columbia that have approved marijuana for recreational use, okay? And medical use of cannabis is legal in 24 more states. So there's 24 states, that medical use of cannabis, and 8 states already for recreational use. Okay, so that's obviously an opportunity. Now the problem with opportunities, you have the sharks that come in, and they're going to save all your problems and make you money. I just signed up for a new mentor plan. I think you send me an email. Somehow I can't find it. Would you be so kind to send it again? Thank you so much. Hi, Linda. Yes, maybe so. And here's where to contact me personally, Linda. You signed up for the mentor program. We could talk on the talk service for free if you're not a member, a mentor. I will, it's $1 a minute. But email me, Linda, at Matthew. I'm sorry, letsgofreeradio@gmail.com. Email me there, and I will send you the link. So you make an appointment, and we'll talk for free, okay? If you're not a mentor member, then I got to charge you $1 a minute. But usually in 10-15 minutes, I could show you where to go and solve the problem. And it's at letsgo.com/talk is where to sign up. But Linda, I'll give you a special link. So send me an email, and we'll do that. But it is that I think is the best way. One of the best ways I help people. Like yesterday, a lady come up, a single mom. Boy, she had 2 kids, and they were on the spectrum of having autism, and so she's struggling through. Just got laid off a job and whatever. And just in a few minutes, I was able to show her ways to generate extra income while she works on something she really wants to do in life. And I helped dig out of her what she really wanted to do, and really it was a consulting business, being the Yaya girl. So she's a great like cheerleader for people. She helps all her friends doing that, out of trouble and everything. Now she's in trouble herself, and thank God I was able to help her, and how to develop that idea as a money-making idea on the side while she's using these other programs to live on, and then you build this thing on the side that costs you no money to do. And so over time you're able to jump from one place to the other. It's just wonderful being able to do that. But marijuana, okay, here's the thing about marijuana. Okay, you're interested, like in Florida, is just one of the places past it. And I was looking at websites down there about how to get in the business and get a license and everything, and you go Google that, you're going to get all these lawyers that are going to charge you hundreds or thousands of dollars, to teach you the system and all this kind of stuff. They'll toss you when there's a place to get it free. Actually, if you want to know about the marijuana laws where you are and how to make money at it and things like that, you go to an organization called NORML, NORML.org. This is a non-profit organization. They have meetups, probably in every city in the world. So you get people, experts who've been following this for years and years and years, tell you exactly, what's going on, in that industry, how to make money in that industry, who's making money in the industry. Actually, on the YouTube places, my YouTube channel, I have an interview of a guy who really has a consulting firm that shows fat cats how to invest in businesses, that are cannabis related. So there's a big growth area in venture capital and investments, and fat cats want to throw money at you and everything. But also then there's sharks who want to get money from you because you don't know the business. So the way to learn it is by doing it for free, and that's people who've been on the ground level from day one, and they'll help you for free with anything like that. So you don't have to pay $200 an hour to some lawyer who's goes out and read the laws to you. You could actually talk to somebody who wrote the laws, probably was involved in them. That's what the normal people are. They're a non-profit organization that's trying to change the laws. So they know the background and everything about the laws more than anybody else. So that's where you want to get involved in and learn about that. And that's the way to do it. So that's about, that's an opportunity. So you and I, at least me at my age, I never thought there'd be a business like that unless you had to wear a mask, or something like that. So that's sort of cool. Let's see. Family wealth. Oh, there's something in here. Let's see, but I don't have it. Let's see. Okay, here. Here's another one today. Payday lenders, okay? Payday lenders, okay? there's somebody to stay away from. Payday lenders. But we all get tight in money, and nobody will give us money when we don't have money, and we don't have good credit and stuff like that. So we wind up going to these other sharks called payday lenders. Okay, you gotta not do there. And now what happened is that the consumerfinance.gov. Okay, this is consumerfinance.gov is a government agency that is regulating all the financial services industry, including payday lenders. So they have new rules they're about to put into effect now to cover payday lenders. Because if you do a payday lender, you are, it's like the mafia, You go borrow $500, and in 2 weeks you got to pay them if you borrow $400, in 2 weeks you got to pay them $400 plus $60 interest and fees. That's like getting a 300% interest loan. So your credit card is a better place to do that instead of these payday lenders. And actually, if you need emergency money, here's the place to do it too, to start. There's a whole bunch of nonprofit organizations that help you with emergency money. And because they get blocked, that what they call community development block grant money, to help you, with problems like that. And so you need an emergency $500 or whatever, $1,000. They're getting grants to give that out. But you won't see the ads. They don't have a storefront, like the payday loan. And here's another interesting thing in the article. You realize there are more payday lending stores than there are McDonald's. That's right. More payday lending stores than there are McDonald's. Now, isn't that incredible? That just sounds astounding to me. More payday lending stores than McDonald's. That's why you got to be careful with these people. And so you want to stay away. But here's if payday lending people are screwing you over and you don't believe you're treated fairly, you can complain to the consumerfinance.gov. They have a complaint system there. They say that in 15 days, they follow up. You can even be wrong. That's right. You can even be wrong. And they'll go after these people anyway. Oh, there we go on Facebook again. Facebook doesn't like me. Boy, see, I'm a skinny sideways guy. Now on Facebook. And I used another phone, so it's not my phone. It's something Facebook does to me. That's amazing. I don't know what's going on there. It's certainly ruining me. I got payday loan for my Indian park, and they charged 137% interest. Yeah, see? It's crazy what they do. I think Facebook hates that I'm doing these other things. They limit you on time sometimes. Who limit me on time? You mean Facebook? I wonder if that's what they're doing. You think it is? Yeah, that's an interesting thing. Maybe Facebook is limiting me on time. Actually, what I have to do is do one separate, just on Facebook, and have no other things lined up, and see if I feel paranoid again, if this conspiracy theory it is right or not. But it's sort of interesting, and I don't know. Boy, if I can't do a long one on there, that's not very good. No, I'm sideways. And actually my views have shrunk so much on that. They used to be huge. But, that's showbiz. You have no control over everything. Okay, so anything with financial, any credit card company, anybody messes you over, just like the headline here about payday loans, are being restricted by the consumerfinance.gov. You use consumerfinance.gov as your legal help, as getting back at people in the financial services industry, whether it's your bank, your credit card company, your mortgage company, anybody like that. You'll see videos they have there of people they've helped and got $30,000 back for people, got $15,000 back for people, or do a class action suit and get gazillions back for everybody. So that may be for you. Boy, I can't find the. I got one on free money. What? Oh, you have examples of something? Let me know. Actually, on Periscope, you go so fast I can't keep track of it. But that's there. Okay, here's another thing that was interesting to me, data on the recession. Okay, now we used to have, just about a year or two ago in the middle of the recession, we had a 10% unemployment rate. Okay, Trump is repeating a lot of regulations and protections for consumers. Yes, he is repealing a lot of stuff. Like there's another one I hope to talk about today. I'll talk about another time. How the financial services industry make you sign something that you won't take them to court. That's so you can't gang up on them. So they want to fight you one-on-one, mano a mano, when they're a gazillion-dollar company and you're just a little guy. So you can't join together with other people to fight them back. So they're going to get Trump. I think Trump is going to repeal that legislation, and that's too bad. Okay, but here's more important. People out of work. Okay, now they say unemployment is down to 5%, 4%, what the heck is it? It used to be 10% and now it's way down. Now it's below 5%. But listen to this. There are actually, since the recession, 1.5 million people have left the workforce. They decided not to work at all. They gave up looking for work. So that's why the unemployment rate is down. So you have to add $1.5 million jobs to that, or 1.5 million people to that, who really gave up working. Now, I don't know how many people that means, or whatever, if that makes it 10% or 20% or whatever. But 1.5 million, that increases, I'm sure, significantly. What's going on there? And so that's interesting to me. So we have more people have decided just not to work in this country. And to me, that's a bigger sin than anything. If people aren't contributing for the rest of us, that's amazing. So we have more people living here, and we say we don't want any more people here because there's not enough jobs for the people here. But there's so many people now that are looking for jobs. They don't want to work for some reason or another. How much does 1.5 million doesn't push the stats higher? But how much does one? I don't know, then 2%, maybe not. But if it's 2%, that means there's 50 million unemployed. And I don't think there's 50 million unemployed. So what you have to get is that figure that's unemployed. If you said that's 2%, so 2% of 50 million is, it's actually less. That's maybe 70%. And there's not 70% unemployed, or 70 million unemployed. So, but it's easy to find out. But it's a big number anyway, and we should. Have you seen Prison Break? Is that a movie? Or what? We have millions incarcerated, if that's what you mean, that aren't working. That's for sure. Proof that I worked for them. IRS only goes back 10 years with records. Unfortunately, my social security isn't enough. I don't know what to do. Okay, if you have a problem with Social Security, Delaware Scrap, and you think you weren't counted somewhere like that, I think the best thing to do is contact your elected official. Go to your library or call your library reference librarian. Get the phone number of the local office and ask them to help, and they will. Okay, somebody said they signed up for a $5,000 grant. Don't sign up for any grant. Anybody asks you money to get a grant, just ignore them. And actually, anybody calls you on the phone from the IRS, ignore them. There are a lot of people, I even get calls myself. Well, we found that, you have a problem with your IRS tax form, and we're with the IRS, and we want you to call us back from there. Being able to chat with you and hear your thoughts. Thanks, love being here. Thank you so. And so the IRS will call you, and if you're not there, they leave you a message to call this number, and it's a scam. And the IRS will never call you. They'll send you a registered letter if they're really after you. So anybody calls you in the IRS, that's all a scam. Anybody who calls you and says you get a grant as long as you give them money, that is a scam. Don't do any of those two things. They're terrible. The people who are doing them are terrible. I know he gives great info. It pisses me off. What? I piss you off because I get great information? That's cool. I have unclaimed property. State needs proof. I worked for a job. Company out of business. Can't get proof. Oh, I see. That's it. Well, that's interesting. Then yes, I would, because both of those offices are state offices. The unclaimed property is a state office. The So contact your elected official, your congressman, your state representative. You have 3 or 4 people you could talk. A senator, you have 2 senators, a congressman or whatever. I would go that way because they have power over that agency to give you the money, and you have power over them because you have a vote for that elected official. And that's why these people do the work for you, because they want you to vote, and if they get that money for you, it's no skin off their out of their pocket. They just spend a little time using their muscle on the bureaucrats, and if they get you the money, you'll vote for that sucker no matter what they do. So by the way, unemployment money, somebody mentioned unemployment money a little while ago. If there are other ways to get unemployment money extended. So you have to realize there are other ways. Like if you lost your job because it was exports or there's other reasons, things like that, that you could add months to your unemployment money. So just don't take it for granted that they tell you 6 months and that's it. That's a good thought. Thank you, Mr. Leo. I'm trying to get records from the IRS, but they go back only 10 years. Just bang away. And if they say no, ask them where else. And you'll always get suggestions from any place you contact. Don't let that contact go to waste. Get suggestions about other places that you may be able to do that. So that's important to do. Let's see, okay, so that's, unemployment. So there's other ways to unemployment. Look at, and to find out about unemployment things, you go to the federal level. Even though the state gives it out and it's different, the main law comes from Washington, D.C. So it's good to know what that is. So then you could go to the state level and say, hey, see, you're supposed to have this. What happened to this? Where is this? Because people, bureaucracies are tough to run. Nobody knows everything. So sometimes you got to do is tell them what they got. That's sometimes the only way to get something. Is by telling the bureaucrats what they have. So that's another thing. Okay, now here's another article I'm reading that made me think about what's going on here. This is how. Okay, it starts. It's an op-ed piece in the New York Times, opposite the editorial page. So it's these supposedly smart. I sent you an email. If you sent me an email and you haven't heard back from me in two days, just beat on me again. I'm an old fart. I'm busy. I forget stuff or whatever. I don't mean to diss you and pretend you're not there. And I try to help. I got paying customers too, but I want to help the free ones too as much as I can. But it says, you can't empower us with chickens. And it's really, for only $100, you can empower a woman in India. This manageable amount, according to the website of the organization called India Partners, will provide a woman with her own sewing machine, allowing her to take a very first step on the march to empowerment. So $100, get a sewing machine, and she's in business. That's all she needs, is $100. Or you can send a chicken. Poultry farming, according to Melinda Gates, and this is the Gates Foundation is very hip on this, said a chicken is better than sending people money in these countries, because if they have a chicken, it produces food, it continually produces food, and they have something to sell, and things like that. Poultry farming, according to Melinda Gates, empowers a woman in developing countries by allowing them to express their dignity and seize control. It just takes a chicken. If chickens are not your empowerment tool of choice, Heifer, H-E-I-F-E-R International, will, for $390, deliver an enterprise basket to a woman in Africa. It includes rabbits, juvenile fish, and silkworms. So with all those animals or whatever, they make businesses out of it. Now I'm looking at that and thinking about how, like, my grandparents were immigrants, came here. And immigrants who came and started businesses, they had no money. They had nothing at all, and they rubbed together 2 sticks and started business, and they turned into things like Sears, Roebuck, and all these kinds of businesses with people with no money. or whatever. No connections, no anything. It's sort of like these women, and all they needed was $100, to start a business now. And I feel that's the same way in this country now. It's so easy to start a business because we don't make, we're not in the business of making automobiles and things like that require a lot of money. And when I traveled a couple of years ago, I was in Bulgaria and I was in India, and you see these entrepreneurs that all start with nothing. Absolutely nothing on the street. I mean, it's really taking two sticks together. One entrepreneur was telling me, and then you create something. You find a customer or whatever, and that's why I believe that's now back in our country. Number one, we always were able to do that just in the right kind of businesses. And they service businesses. Like I started all my businesses with absolutely no money. I started with me, a phone, and a desk in my one-bedroom apartment, and grew that thing to about 30, 40 people in a big office on K Street or whatever. And now with the internet, it's possible anywhere. People are starting, multi-million-dollar companies that grow into multi-million-dollar companies with just an idea and a website, someone else's product or whatever on the web or whatever, and all this stuff that you really need money. No, true entrepreneurism is really learning how to do it without money. And there's ways to do that. It's just not traditional ways, because we're all, if I only had $100,000 to do this, and that's what I try to show people. In my work, I'm showing you other ways to get seed money, other ways to get expertise, to do things. You have an invention. You don't need a lawyer, to copyright it and all this kind of stuff, or get a patent and spend thousands and thousands of dollars. No, there's other ways to take steps. The big, and even people in my generations, I know that have started businesses that became very successful. They start with nothing, with scraps. I mean, two friends of my wife that started a rowing machine business, and they were jocks and whatever, and they wanted to develop a better oar, and they just did it with scrap materials from manufacturers who just sent them scraps to build stuff. And now they're a multi-million, probably hundreds of $1,000,000 industry, just starting with scraps. And that's what life is about. We want it all easy, and you can't do it easily, and so that's why you have to find other ways maybe to live on, and that's another thing what the shared economy does. It gives you a way to create extra income, either through things like Uber and Airbnb, or taking care of somebody else's pets. It's easier because the internet's made that so much easier to make money like that without having anything. You're all a capitalist if you have your talent, because and it makes you more flexible by earning money. I mean, now I told you about this gigshift.com. I mean, that's where you just go on that platform. They tell you, hey, we need somebody tonight to make $50 to $100, at a party to serve hors d'oeuvres or something like that. And you don't have to do it. You can or whatever. It's not like a regular job anymore. Regular jobs are past. Sure, there are regular jobs, but that's shrinking. These other jobs are growing. That's what I mean. You're keeping up on the news about knowing this stuff. Whatever. Oh, here's another interesting thing. Look at this young woman. She started a nonprofit in Arlington. Artful Living for the Formerly Homeless. Apparently, when see, this is ideas. Anybody could do this. Here's this woman is 13. Was 13 years old. She started this nonprofit organization that gets art to homeless people who get their first house. Okay, we have programs to get homeless people not being homeless, to finally get a place to live, and a thing they can afford and everything. And what happens, though, that they're in a place where being successful is it? Being successful. She says, coffee talk with Matthew. Karen says, starting may be easy, but being successful is the issue. Yes, it is. Being successful, anything is the issue. But don't let money stop you. See, what I think people do is say, okay, I don't have money, so I can't do it. And then you blame money. No, let's see how good you are. How long are you going to put in? How hard are you going to try? That's what life is about. It's what's to it. Anyway, so this 13-year-old starts this nonprofit, and it's called Home is Where the Art Is. So she went around artists all over the community, a suburb of Washington, D.C., and found these artists to donate artwork. And she set up this, She said the place looked like she said, Allison, who's now 15 years old, sophomore at high school, started talking to artists in homeless shelters, and in February 2006 founded a nonprofit. Home is where the art is, to start connecting them. The organization has procured donations of hundreds of pieces of arts, frames, and mats, and it has provided original artwork to more than 50 people in the Washington area, plus one in North Carolina, who are making transition from homeless shelters to permanent housing. See, that's somebody, that's a kid, 15 years old, going out and solve a problem in our country. There's lots of problems, whatever. It's just taking somebody, with the guts or the ambition, it doesn't take a high level degree of knowledge of anything. Hey, why don't we just do this, huh? Talking to experts will confuse the hell out of you. That's why just keep them out of the picture and just do it. And that 15-year-old kid, hey, okay, there's artists who may want to donate, get the artists to donate in. There's homeless people that need it, okay, mix it. You're a marriage counselor, matching people up, and that's what's neat. So it's making it happen. While her parents have helped her spread the word, her mother sits on her board, and her father helps her with matting and framing. The driving force for the program has been Allison herself. So this 15-year-old kid. So a 15-year-old kid could solve a problem in the community. Why not the rest of doing this? Okay, here's another thing. You're looking for a job. Look at this headline. Okay, man, there's always something. Oh, I can't find anything. Okay, contracting firms can't find workers to rebuild after Harvey and Irma LaDouche. Okay, so they're hurting for people. So what do? You see that, okay, can't get a job where you are. They need labor, they need people. How do you do that? Well, you can get in a car right now and go down and see who the hell's hiring, okay? Or, to me, what I would do is any of those cities, find out the cities that are maybe hurt the most. It's in the Dallas area, it's in the Houston area, and down south, the ones they're hurt. I don't know if you want to go to Puerto Rico, but maybe that. So they have government money to rebuild things, okay? So they're hiring jobs. They can't find enough people to rebuild, okay? So how do you find out about it? To me, what I would do, and I don't know anything about it, so I may be wrong, but I would start finding out what to do by contacting what's called the Career One Stop in say, Miami, and Houston, or whatever city you're interested to go. Maybe you want to go to a less developed city. Miami's too big, maybe one of the other cities that are hurt. I don't know what they are, but maybe you want to go to one of the other ones. And Career One Stop is the State Department of Labor, has local offices that get people's jobs. So if somebody is hiring, in the area, they're letting the Career One Stop know. So if any company is hiring and they're looking for people, they're letting the Career One Stop. And that's from the State Department of Labor. So if you Google Career One Stop and the city that you want to get in, or workforce development and the city that you want to move to find out information about, and get their phone number and call them. So that's Career One Stop, and then plus the name of the city, or workforce, plus the name of the city, and only contact offices that have .gov or .org. No other offices. So you want to know these are nonprofit or government offices that help you for free. Anybody else is going to charge you. So that's important. The other thing you want to do is, if that doesn't fail, then I would call a local congressman. Find them. Find their office. How do you find that? Find the library. Actually, if you Google "Find My Congressman," there are a couple of websites that will show you how to find a congressman anywhere. And then you find their website and get the local office number to call them and say, hey, how do I find out? I hear they're hurting for people to work. How do I find that out? And they could help, because they know they have to keep up on all this stuff, because all their constituents have all these problems. So they would know that. And if you can't find that, then call the library in the town, the reference librarian. They're available to do all that. So that's why there's always, you're sitting somewhere and say, oh, there's no jobs. It's just not where you are. That's why, to me, the news is important. What's going on? You have to see where the opportunities are. This is an interesting survey here. From the Pew Research people. I don't know if you know them or not. I follow them a lot. They do a lot of, like Gallup poll and things like that. Enter the town hall into Facebook, and you'll give you all your elected officials based on your profile address. Ah, cool. That's a good one. I didn't know about that. See, I learn all the time. So you enter town hall on Facebook, and it shows you how to find your elected officials anywhere. Okay, a survey of the Pew Research Center released Wednesday found that widespread anxiety among Americans over the impact of technological change. 3/4 of Americans say it is at least somewhat realistic that robots and computers will eventually perform most of the jobs now done by people. So that's 75%, 3/4 of people think that robots and computer will replace most of the jobs. Now, I don't know most of the jobs, but yes, you're right. A lot of jobs are going to replace. About the same number worry that such an outcome will have negative consequences, such as worsening inequality. Yes, I think there's a good chance of that happening. The survey also found that skepticism about the benefits of emerging technologies, with most Americans saying they would not ride in a driverless car. Well, you would not ride in a driverless car. Where is it? Oh, I have a story here about a driverless car. Why don't I have it? They're testing it now in, of course, California. Oh, here it is. Self-driving cars in California. Let me see this. See this lady here? Okay, she's blind. Okay, they're testing driverless cars in this retirement community, and she just goes around anywhere she wants in the driverless car. And the story is talking about how it stops for golf carts. It's happening, right? So if you're a limo driver, you might want to rethink about your long-term career. Nothing happens overnight, you don't know. But you got to plan long-term, because you're living longer. We all are. I mean, God, I'm 74. I never thought I'd be working and contributing and doing all this stuff at my age. And I probably got 20, 30 more years left to do it, and going to have fun doing it. So I'm keeping an eye on this stuff, man. So if you're 30 or 40 or 50, man, boy, you're going to be around for maybe 50 years, right? A lot of stuff is going to change. Just think of the last 10 years. Man, that's amazing. So it's working. They're out there. They're working, and real people, are using them. That's what life is. 30% of respondents said they think self-driving cars will cause rise of traffic accidents. 31% say they will stay roughly the same. Yeah, I mean, that may be right or wrong. Nobody knows the future. Nobody's guessing. Nobody knows. The data I talk about a lot is how people, if you Google scientific studies wrong, you'll see 2/3 of the scientific studies, these are the best scientists in the world, they're predicting outcomes that show you. And so even their test results turn out to be wrong 2/3 of the time. So nobody knows, it's guessing. That's what it's all about. Let's see, anything else? I thought there was a family welcome. I don't want to do all the elements a little too sensational. Okay, well, thanks for putting up with me, guys. Remember, what I do is the custom research surveys, research papers, one on housing. Now, that's a great deal. $49.95, and I show you like 150 programs to buy real estate, fix up houses, stuff like that, or buy a home, fix up home, where you live. and if you go to letsgo.com/tutor, you'll see the housing report there. Just click on that, and it takes about 2 weeks to do because this is custom research. I do one for starting a business, so all the money programs and financial assistance and expertise that's available for you to start your own business, full-time, part-time, or whatever, for your area, and that's like $79. And I do one for everybody to just get extra money. So if you have, I'll show you like 300 programs, for you to get extra money on, and if you go to letsgo.com/tutor, and if you click on the 299 products, 299 ways to keep the money coming in, and use the coupon code HELPNOW, HELPNOW, when you check out, and instead of $79, you'll only be charged $59. And that's a huge thing. It's about 350 pages. There's about 100 videos in there, instructional videos. This is the main report I think that every family, every household in America should have, because it shows you every financial assistance that's available for anything you want to do: housing, education, college, starting business, all in one report. You need help with legal help or accounting help for any of this kind of stuff, medical help, dental help, all these things that are for free, okay? And I have it all in one place where you live. All the applications for applying in your city are right there. So you have like 299 applications of free money right there in your hands, that you could use. Any chance of a borrow? What's a borrow? Who can I talk you through the steps to start a nonprofit? Well, you could try. There's local places that do that. Like people, yes. Oh, JJ, you made it alive. Great. To start a nonprofit is your Small Business Development Center. Help you step through it. Some states have nonprofits that'll help you a lot with all that. To do that through. It depends on where you live. I do research like that. I could send you a report that will show you all the free sources of money and help to start a nonprofit, for where you live. That's at letsgo.com/tutor, TUTOR. You could call your congressman. They may have a free report because they help a lot of nonprofits. They could send you a free report. Your library, like I talked once about, there's a database at your library called the Foundation Center and GuideStar. Now that's a database of grants to give to nonprofits by other foundations that give money to nonprofits. And these foundations that give money don't have websites, so they're very difficult to find. Other than that, guys, okay, I gotta go do research, my paying customers, okay? Cheers, thanks for joining. I don't know. Doesn't matter. Now, wouldn't it be great if we all had our own Washington lobbyists who would lobby the Congress for us and get benefits for us that's set aside and get us contracts and grants and whatever? Because that's how the rich folks live. Now, I've been watching this town. I've been living here, too, for about 40 years, and that's what happens. The rich folk come to town, they lobby Washington, make sure they get this line item in the contract or whatever in the law, so they get a bunch of money. And now you would see with the tax bill. I mean, the lobbyists now are spending almost $1 billion or more just to get their things in the tax bill or not lose their existing, benefits. And unfortunately, that's how it works. But you have a lobbyist too, and that's your elected official. And in some ways, you have just as much power as these fat guys. Sure, they're giving money and you don't have money to give, but what keeps them in office? You know what keeps them in office? You voting. you voting for them or not. That's right. Most of their offices have people on their staff. Actually, all their offices have people on their staff. All they do is favors for voters or potential voters, people who are in their district, and can vote them out of work. So you could get them, you could come up, you're fired. So that's why you have that power. That's why you want to help. They want to help you. And so you're looking for a grant from your nonprofit organization. That's one of the first people I would talk to. You call them up. And if you're out of Washington, that's okay. You find somebody in their local district office. They all have district offices, and the people there, they're helping local people solve problems. That's what most of their staff does. And so tell them what you're trying to do. And see, you're not there just to sell weapons or something like that. You're there to solve something in the community because you're a nonprofit. So you're important in the community. You affect other community members by doing something in the community. So they want to look good in your eyes. And so if you make an appointment with one of their staff people locally, so you could get belly to belly with these people. And that's what, it's a people business. It's hard to flunk somebody that you get to know. As a teacher, I found that out. People would come after class and show me the pictures of their dog and stuff like that. It was hard to flunk them, even though the grade showed they should be failing. But, your heart says, oh, he's not such bad. He just had a bad day. And you kick him a little. And see, that's what getting information and help is about too. So getting face to face with these bureaucrats who are in charge. And they know people in the community that can help you. Hey, this guy over here is giving out money to solve that problem. Hey, there's people you could partner with over there to do something like that. That's important. And they have the power. People talk to these elected officials because they have so much power in them, because the government represents a third or even more of everything in our country. Sure, it's not everything yet, but it's that much. So that's why that commands attention and power. And so knowing them, and then they could help you somehow grow your idea by using other people they know. So make an appointment with your congressman. I've even seen, I was looking at a senator's site the other day, and they have a checklist. Hey, tell me what you need. You need a grant for education. You need a grant for seniors. You need a grant for this and that. Check what kind of grant you want. Right. It's like a menu at McDonald's. Oh, I have a mac and cheese or something. That is the wrong thing, is it? Mac and cheese is something nothing to do with McDonald's. That's how much I know. I'm in current culture. But it's true. I mean, they shape shopping lists. They know that they're there for, because see what happens if they get money for your nonprofit, so maybe they get you 10, 20, they find a grant somewhere in Washington or your local sources to give you money. No matter what they do and how screwed up they get, you'll vote for them forever. They got you that money. That saved your life. That's what the Hound seems to be all about. This is why these people have a rating now of like 10%, and they still get elected with approval rating of 10%. That's why I don't think Trump worries about Congress. His approval rating is 35 or 40 or something like that, but theirs is only 10. So that's why this is a tool for you to use to improve, what you're trying to do. And, we all need help. And they're sitting there on your payroll. They're really on your payroll. These are lobbyists. They're better than lobbyists because they're who the lobbyists go to too. So why pay some lobbyists $300 an hour to go see your congressman and they don't even vote for him? You could call them directly and you have more power than they do. Maybe they have more money, but you got the vote. Hi, well, I've been studying government grants and free services for almost 40 years now. I've written over 4 million books, actually sold over 4 million books on this subject. And I'm also showing people how to make money on the internet with services now on the internet that give you extra money to live on, or free services that people don't know about them either. So I put together a new course now that shows you all the programs just for Florida. The people in Florida need this because of what happened with the hurricane. So I want to show you all the programs that are available, not only from FEMA, but hundreds of other programs that you could use to improve your life, get a better job, fix up your house, buy a new house, become a real estate investor, start a business, almost anything you want. Free tax help, free legal help, free health care, free dental care. All these things are there if you know where to look. So start taking the course now and see what this country has to offer. Man, and all the links and the websites are right there, right in Florida, for you to start applying today.